The world's population is increasing, and its birth rate is falling.
The birth rate in this country, once known for large families, has plummeted to a record low 1.24 children per Italian woman.
According to experts, Italy's decreasing population is the most pressing issue that needs to be addressed.
Boosting the birth rate is not just an Italian problem, but a Europe-wide issue.
Italy's Prime Minister has warned Europe will be overwhelmed by migration unless the EU finds solutions.
Imagine a world without Italy. No Rome, no Venice, no birthplace of the Renaissance, no land of pizza, pasta, opera, or Ferrari. It sounds impossible, right? Yet today, Italy faces a crisis so deep that experts warn the nation is slowly disappearing, not from war or disaster, but from within. Every year, fewer babies are born here. Italy's fertility rate is just 1.18 per woman, far below the 2.1 needed, one of the lowest in the world. In 2024, just 370,000 babies were born in Italy, while more than 651,000 people passed away. That means the nation lost almost 281,000 people in a single year. Families are shrinking, villages are vanishing, and the population is aging at one of the fastest rates in the world. Some call it the greatest threat to Italy's future. Even Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is calling it a national emergency. But how did this happen? Why are Italians choosing not to have children? And what does it mean for the future of a country that once shaped the world? In this video, we'll break down the crisis, the reasons behind it, the devastating consequences, and the possible solutions to Italy's demographic crisis. Stay with me, because what's happening here may not only change Italy forever, but could also be a warning for the rest of the world. To understand Italy's crisis, let's start with the numbers, because they tell a heartbreaking story. In 2024, just 370,000 babies were born in Italy. That's the lowest since the country was unified back in 1861. For comparison, the number was almost double in the 1960s. Today, Italy's fertility rate is just 1.18 children per woman, one of the lowest in the world, and far below the 2.1 needed just to keep the population stable. And it's not only fewer births. Deaths now outnumber births by almost 300,000 a year. Since 2014, Italy has already lost nearly 2 million people, more than the entire city of Milan. The population stands at about 59 million, but by 2050, it could shrink below 55 million. Worse still, the country is aging faster than almost anywhere else. The median age is already 48 years. 1 in 4 Italians is over 65 today. By 2050, it will be 1 in 3. Meanwhile, the working age population is collapsing, set to shrink by more than 7 million people in just 25 years. Fewer workers, more retirees. That's a recipe for trouble. You can already feel the effects. Pensions swallowing over 15% of Italy's GDP, hospitals under strain, and young Italians leaving for jobs abroad, nearly 200,000 in just 1 year. The result is towns emptying out, schools closing, and a country slowly hollowing from within. This isn't just a statistic. It's a silent emergency, a nation growing older, smaller, and more fragile with every passing year. So why are Italians having fewer children? The truth is, it's not one reason. It's a storm of economic, cultural, social, and political challenges that together have made parenthood feel almost impossible for millions of young people. First, the economy. Italy has one of the highest youth unemployment rates in Europe. For young Italians under 30, finding a stable job can feel almost impossible. Many are stuck in temporary contracts, low-paying work, or forced to live with their parents well into adulthood. And even for those who do find work, wages have barely grown in decades, while the cost of living keeps rising. From groceries to fuel, everything is more expensive. Add housing into the mix, and it becomes even harder. In major cities like Rome or Milan, buying an apartment is out of reach for most young couples. Rent eats up nearly half of their income. And the economic pressure is driving another problem: emigration. In 2024, nearly 200,000 Italians left the country, many of them young and educated, seeking better opportunities abroad. This brain drain not only reduces the workforce, it also means fewer potential parents remain in Italy. In short, if you can't afford a home and you can't afford stability, how can you afford a family? But the problem isn't just money. Culture itself has shifted. Fewer Italians are getting married, and many who do are waiting until later in life. In the 1970s, the average woman married in her early 20s. Today, it's closer to her mid-30s. By then, having children becomes more difficult. Many young Italians prioritize careers, travel, or personal freedom over parenthood. Urban life, in particular, has changed the rhythm of society. In fast-paced cities, the traditional family model, with multiple children, feels outdated and unrealistic. There's also the question of gender. Italian women today face a tough choice: career or motherhood. The country has one of the worst records in Europe for supporting working mothers. Affordable childcare is limited, flexible work is rare, and many employers still expect women to give up their jobs if they want children. At the same time, Italy's society still clings to traditional family expectations. Women are often expected to handle childcare and housework, even if they have a career. This double burden leaves many to ask, is motherhood worth the sacrifice? And finally, politics. Compared to countries like France or Germany, Italy offers very little financial support for families. Child benefits are small, parental leave is limited, and programs to help parents are often tied up in bureaucracy. Even Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has acknowledged the severity of the crisis, stating in Parliament, "These merciless numbers must become a spur to action." Italy is aging, birth rates are falling, and entire areas of the country are emptying. We must support families, financially, socially, and culturally, to secure Italy's future. Yet despite repeated promises, reforms have been slow. The gap between policy and real-life support leaves young Italians struggling, and the birth rate continues to fall year after year. So, when you put it all together, unstable jobs, high costs, emigration, changing lifestyles, unequal gender roles, and weak policies, it becomes clear. The decision to have children in Italy isn't just a personal choice, it's an almost impossible challenge. And the consequences of that choice are already reshaping the nation. In the next chapter, we'll see exactly what this means for Italy's future: an aging population, ghost towns, and a country slowly running out of time. So, what happens when a country stops having children? In Italy, the consequences are already visible, and they're growing more serious every year. Italy is becoming a nation of grandparents. Today, nearly 1 in 4 Italians is over 65, and that number is set to rise to almost 35% by 2050. Meanwhile, the working-age population, those between 15 and 64, is projected to shrink from 37 million in 2024 to just 29.7 million in 2050. For every 100 people of working age, there are already over 37 elderly dependents. By mid-century, that ratio could exceed 60. This creates enormous pressure on pensions, healthcare, and social services. Fewer workers are paying taxes, while more elderly citizens need medical care and support, an impossible equation for the economy to solve. An aging population doesn't just mean more grandparents, it means a weaker economy. With fewer young workers, businesses struggle to hire staff. Factories close, shops shut down, and innovation slows. Italy, once a leader in European industry, now risks stagnation, and it's a vicious cycle. Fewer workers mean less tax revenue, leaving governments with less money to invest in schools, hospitals, infrastructure, or technology. Public debt, already the second highest in the Eurozone at over 135% of GDP, continues to rise, fueled by pensions and healthcare costs. The countryside tells the story even more starkly. Towns and villages across Italy are dying. Young people move to big cities or leave the country entirely. Homes are left empty, schools close, and streets grow silent. Some villages have even offered houses for just €1 to attract new residents, yet many remain abandoned. Communities that have survived for centuries are fading, and with them, centuries of local history and tradition. And then there's the cultural cost. Italy isn't just a country, it's a living museum of art, music, cuisine, and family traditions. But with fewer children, these traditions risk vanishing. Festivals are canceled, local dialects are forgotten, and cherished family recipes may disappear. This is more than a demographic problem. It's an identity crisis. If Italy continues to shrink, the very essence of what makes Italy could be lost forever. After decades of declining birth rates and an aging population, the question is urgent. Can Italy be saved? The answer is yes, but it will take action on multiple fronts, from government policies to social choices, and even learning from the experiences of other nations. The Italian government has begun taking steps to tackle the crisis. In April 2025, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni introduced the baby bonus, offering €1,000 for every child born or adopted in 2025. This initiative is available to Italian citizens and legal long-term residents, aiming to ease the financial burden of raising children. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has repeatedly called Italy's falling birth rate a national emergency, stressing that supporting families must be a top priority if the country wants to secure its future. But experts say cash alone isn't enough. Italy also needs affordable housing programs, expanded childcare, flexible work hours, and longer parental leave. Without these structural changes, young couples may still find parenthood too difficult. Government support can only go so far. Personal choices matter too. Couples who prioritize family, communities that support parents, and individuals willing to balance careers with raising children all play a role in reversing the trend. Cultural shifts are happening slowly. More workplaces are adopting flexibility. Young people are reconsidering family life, and grassroots initiatives like local parenting cooperatives and community childcare are gaining momentum. Every child born today isn't just a number and a statistic. It's a statement of hope, a choice that can help secure Italy's future. Immigration is another tool. Young migrants bring energy, skills, and new families to Italy's aging society. They help fill gaps in agriculture, caregiving, construction, and other sectors, sustaining the economy and communities. But migration is not a silver bullet. Italians naturally worry about preserving culture, language, and tradition. Careful integration policies, like language programs, cultural orientation, and community support, are essential to balance economic needs with cultural preservation. In short, immigration can supplement growth, but it cannot replace the need for more Italian children. The solution is a combination of support for families and thoughtful migration policies. Italy doesn't have to start from scratch. Other countries have faced similar demographic challenges and found solutions. In France, generous family allowances and state-supported childcare have helped maintain higher birth rates. Sweden offers universal childcare and equal parental leave, making it easier for women to pursue careers while raising children. These examples show that smart, supportive policies can make parenthood achievable without forcing choices between family and work. The path is clear. Strong government policies, community support, responsible migration, and lessons from around the world can give Italy a second chance. Families can grow, towns can thrive, and the country's rich culture can continue to shine. The question is not whether Italy can be saved, but whether it will be saved. Italy's future is still being written, but one thing is certain: the clock is ticking.